Thank you so much. And first of all, speaking of, Margot just spoke there about working on yourself can be very exhausting. Absolutely can. But when you see the changes, when you see the results of you being changed, is such an exciting route. It's such an exciting journey that you want more and more and more. And I experience that with my clients on a daily basis. How skeptical sometimes people are starting this journey with me, because they've tried so many times and that's not necessarily something what they believe they can do it successfully. But because, as I mentioned, I work, or I help people find their root cause instead of only working on the symptoms, it's completely different story. But let's start from the beginning, guys. I'm so happy and grateful to be here with you today and give you all the knowledge possible I can give you within an hour of this time. So I will be your host for about an hour now. And my name is Anima Koska, and I'm a human performance and mindset coach. On a daily basis, I work with passionate men and women that know there is more in life for them, that they want to change their current results and bring their life to the next level. So first of all, guys, I would love to tell you a little bit more about the agenda of today's call. So first, we're going to start with creation and motivations. I'm going to speak about creating the goals and how we keep motivated for those goals. Now, then we're going to answer a couple of questions that might be very interesting to some people, that they never thought even of it. But the first one is, what is the primary role of your mind? Who are you, and how can you use your superpowers to achieve your goals, to achieve what you really want from life? Okay, so starting with the goals, guys, the topic today is to reshape your thinking and leverage your results. So I really ask you to keep your mind wide open for another hour and literally forget everything you have learned up to today. If there is something what is very similar, that's fantastic. But just listen and go with the flow. Don't judge. Don't say, well, that doesn't make any sense. Just let those new things maybe sink into your subconscious mind. Okay, so goals. If you want to leverage your results, guys, you need to know where you're going. You need to know what you really want. Many people comes to me and says, well, I don't really know what I want from life, which is absolutely okay. And swear to God, it's 90%, if not 95%. Now, I don't believe people don't know what they want. I believe that we don't spend enough time on working on what do we really we really want. Sorry, I just got a message there, Margot. Yes, I know my tablet is logged in as well, as I might be drawing on today's presentation, if that's okay. I spoke to someone else before, they said that would be okay, so that should be. Is the mic on, did you say? Let me just check. No, the mic shouldn't be on. Perfect, great, thank you. Yes, so you need to know where you're going. You need to find out from yourself, from inside of you, what do you really want in life? And I will tell you a little bit more about that just in a minute. Now, what really, imagine yourself now standing, if you start going to the gym, if you start a business, wherever you starting in your life, in your journey, and you just saying, you know what, I just want to be happy, okay? I just want to be happy doing it. Now, it's like being literally standing on the middle of Dublin and saying, I'm gonna go west. So where are you gonna go? You're gonna go west, and you're gonna go west, and you're gonna go west, and you will go nowhere on the end of the day if you just keep going west. But if you're gonna say, oh, I'm gonna go to Galway, drive to Galway, I suppose, then you have the goal and you know exactly what routes you need to take to get to Galway, okay? But if you're going west, you can keep going. So what really the goal is? The goal is worthy idea, worthy of you, of your time, worthy of changing habits, of committing to it, Okay, there is another thing with the goals, which I haven't been taught ever before this material, that actually goals are not for to be get, but they are for us to grow. So when we set a goal high enough, we need to grow to this goal. So coming up to 3 different types of goals that we people set. First one, the most common goal to set is A-type goal, we call it. So it's a goal that you have achieved before and you're going for it again. So let's say you have bought a brand new car from the dealer, brand new. 5 years later, you want to buy another brand new car from the dealer. So that's A-type goal. You've done it before and you want to do it again, okay? B-type goal is a goal that you know exactly how to do it, but you've never done it before. So let's say you want to buy a new house. You haven't bought a house before, but now you want to buy a house. So you know exactly, if you sit down and you're going to say, okay, if I'm going to save that much money each month, in 6 months, I'm going to have that much money. I can put my deposit on and then I can get the mortgage, right? So step by step, exactly, you have planned everything. And there is third, C-type goal, we call it. And obviously, because the smile showed up straight away on my face, guys, it's the type of goals that we want to set. And this type of goals we set using our imagination, and it's pure fantasy. When you set C-type goal, in fact, you know that you don't know how to get it. That you know that you are not able to get it right now, right here, right now, because you might have no education for it, no knowledge, no money, enough money, wherever it is, you just know that you're not able right now. But that is the type of goals that will make you grow. So you're not just setting the goal and you live in the regular life as you were until that day, but you need to grow to that goal and everything changes. I'm just gonna, guys, pop in here on the chat. Perfect. Okay, I'm just gonna check the chat there for questions, but there is no questions. But guys, as we said, you can ask the questions on the when I'm speaking, but the questions will be answered on the end of the webinar, if that's all right. So that's brilliant. So you know now that C-type goal is the fantasy goal that you know you can't achieve it right now, and that's the goal that you need to go for. Okay, but there is, of course, we can't be only dreaming of it. So using our imagination, which is our mental faculty, that we will talk more, digging in really into it later on today. Now, fantasy to theory, how we make that move. Of course, you need to go from fantasizing about the goal, you need to make it a theory. So there is 2 questions that you really need to answer to make it a theory. So first one is, are you able? Are you able to do this goal? And you say, well, Anya, you just said, I know I'm not able. Now, you know right now you're not able, but you realize that when you get the right education, right resources, right inspiration, you will be able. Why are you able? Why you know that? You might not know that now, but I know that you are able to achieve anything you want. Everyone is, because we are the highest form of creations on this earth, right? And we have our superpowers. Remember from the beginning, one of those questions we're going to be answering, how to use them to achieve what you want. We can use them. We can use them, but we're going to talk about those mental muscles, I call them, later on. So if you don't believe right now that you can achieve whatever you want, you can either trust me or find a person in this era, in this whatever goal you want to achieve, that has done it. If someone else has done something, you can do it too, because there is no difference between me, you, on that, or that person. There is no difference between two human beings except a level of awareness. And if you are willing to bring your level of awareness to the next step, you definitely can achieve wherever you want. Now, that brings us to a second question that needs to be answered in order to make the goal a theory. Are you willing? That is a big question. Are you actually willing to do whatever you need to do to achieve that goal? And what I mean by that, I mean, are you willing to make short-term sacrifices for a long-term success? So it can be spending more time on studying, getting some skills, getting some knowledge, maybe investing in yourself. And I mean your money or your time. Maybe you will need to get up an hour early each morning. Maybe you will need to go to bed later. Maybe you will need to leave some people behind you. Maybe you will need to spend more time on yourself than on others. And those things, even in the sense, seems sometimes very easy to do. They're not, because we are creatures of habit. And it can be difficult enough to change that. But the moment when you make a decision, which is absolutely 100% needed to make any steps in your life and to sustain, of course, your actions, you have to make a decision and get committed, not interested in your goal. The difference between getting interested and committed is that if you committed, you will do whatever it needs to be done. If you are just interested in your goal, well, you will do what's convenient to do. And that is huge. We answer that first on the beginning. We answer that question. Are we committed or are we interested in our goals? So guys, that's a C-type goal. Let me just grab some water. And for a purpose of this hour, guys, I want you right now to take a couple of breaths, to think of area of your life that you are not getting results you wish you were getting. Or if you feel that you don't really know what is wrong, but you know there is something missing in your life, just take a second and think of the best version of best vision of your life possible. Personal or professional, it doesn't matter. Just take a second. How this area would look like for you. What would be the vision? Would it be maybe be able to help someone in your family? Maybe bring your family for a dream holidays or spending more time with them. I just want you to think of it as a C-type goal, using your imagination and thinking, okay, really, if I had a magic wand and I could do anything I want, what would that be? How my perfect day would look like? Would I be going with my friends? You know, spending loads of time with my family, my friends, not worried that, you know, I need to go to work or I need to work longer, harder to get more money to bring my family for a dream holidays. Yes, holidays, brilliant. Absolutely, just have a think of it. Use your imagination. As Einstein said, imagination or your intellect will bring you from A to Z. Your imagination will bring you anywhere. And that's the beauty of it. And you can turn that to the theory then. Well, I'll tell you how you know that you are able to do it. Now, I want you in this same area, what you are thinking, okay, personal, professional, I want you to think what really the success would look like to me. What do I need to have, be, or do in this area to call myself successful? If nothing is coming up to your mind, think of some person that has done it something like you want to do. And what's their lifestyle? Are they successful to you? Are you looking at those people saying, wow, that's amazing, I would love to do that? But something is holding you back. Some of the negative thoughts, your self-image, I suppose, it's coming up saying like, you, who are you to do it? And I tell you, who are you? Okay, so describing the success in this area is really, really important. But you know what? What's the most important thing? I stolen and I adopted as mine definition of success from Earl Nightingale, which was a mentor of my mentor, who is Bob Proctor. You might be familiar with the gentleman. He was in this beautiful movie back to 90s, The Secret. So Bob Proctor, I was in that movie. He's my mentor, and his mentor said that success is progressive realization of a worthy ideal, which I love. What does that mean? That means that if you're not gonna give up, if you're gonna keep going towards your goal all the time, progressive realization, you have to succeed. There is no other option because you won't give up. It's like for the worthy ideal, right? So remember the worthy ideal, so it's something huge that really, really is worthy of your time, of your commitment, of your money, of your sacrificing something for it, okay? Now, look at Edison. He had 10,000 unsuccessful tries before he invented actually the bulb. After 5,000 of those unsuccessful tries, he'd been asked by the journalists, why you still keep going? Like, it's, you know, it's not happening. And he said, you know what? I actually find out 5,000 times how to do not invent the bulb. So it's a perspective that you can use on any obstacle that comes up when you're going for that goal. But you need to keep going. As they say, fall 7 times, get up 8. But honestly, well, is it easy to keep going when the motivation is down? What's the story with that whole motivation? What's the story with the whole motivation? Guys, put into the comments here now if like, is it easy for you to stay motivated? Yes or no? Is it easy for you to stay motivated? No. No. Absolutely. And guys, motivation is something what lasts only for a short period of time. All the no's, guys. Oh, I keep you motivated now. I will keep you motivated. I tell you right now how. Now, I won't keep you motivated. You will keep yourself motivated, guys. When you look at the motivation, guys, I've been there for many, many years. At 6 on the top of my head, between switching from one industry to the other. I love the feeling when I read the book, and I was so pumped. And I was like, yes, that made so much sense. And I know everything now what to do. I was so motivated going from one video to the other on YouTube. And well, still hoping that probably the next one will give me even better answer to my questions. Don't even mention going to a 3-day event. Oh, after those 3 days coming home, I was flying. I knew the life is gonna change, and now everything I'm gonna achieve what I wanted. And it did last for like 3 or 4 days, and then boom, motivation was gone again. And I would start having those thoughts again. Well, you know, you're not good enough. You don't have enough knowledge. You don't have enough skills. All those thoughts, if they were not in my mind, they were said by people around me. What do you really think? No, come on, you have a safe job. You have a quite okay job. You know, you go on holidays, you're paying your bills. You know, the life was okay. It wasn't bad. So of course I was keep coming back. And that took me a quite while actually to keep going the same route, guys, because that motivation literally is like batting. You need to be taking or, you know, doing it every single day to keep yourself motivated. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying don't watch YouTube videos, watch them, watch mine. Joking. Guys, watch YouTube videos and keep yourself daily motivated, absolutely. But it's not the long-term motivation, and you need to realize that. The long-term motivation must come up from you. You must know what you really want. And there's, of course, there's a process that can be, you know, a process, individual process really to find out how to really get what you want from yourself, to find out, to listen to yourself and your why. Everything changes when you know those two things. What is your why? Why do you really want to achieve that goal, and what the goal is? And that goal must be worthy, because if it's not worthy, if you're only interested, you will only do things that they are convenient to do, and you will fall off the track again, and you will fall off the track again. Now, what is really important, we have more than two parts of the brain, of the mind, but the main ones we are focusing is conscious and subconscious mind. And the most important thing is realizing it, that subconscious mind controls 96 to 98% of your habits that you do, and habitual patterns of thinking. Okay, so get into the to the hot stuff, right? So guys, I might actually connect, actually in a minute, maybe, no, I will actually connect with my tablet now, and I will just draw something for you, if that's okay. We will see if that's, you have checked, that should be absolutely working now. So I want to show you, I want to explain to you how the mind works with our bodies. Okay, so this picture of us, it was created by Dr. Truman Fleet back to 1934. Okay, still here, perfect. And it really explains how do we work. So let me draw something. I hope all, that's not what I wanted to draw. I'm gonna get rid of it, that's okay. Perfect. So I'm gonna present you, not best in drawing, but that's okay. Stickman, guys, simple stickman, okay? And I want you to think of the top circle as your mind. The top circle is your mind, okay? The top half is your conscious mind, and your bottom half is your subconscious mind. Okay, and a small circle is your body. And you can say, well, Anya, why the body is so small and the head is so big? That doesn't make too much sense. And why is it? Because your body is only an instrument of your mind. Okay, so first, let me show you here. Every second, every split second, there is a power flowing into your conscious mind. All the thoughts, all the ideas, we call it a thinking mind, okay? Because when the power comes in onto your mind, you think a thought or an idea, okay? So idea, let's say it's few thoughts together. Then when you accept the thought, it goes straight onto your subconscious mind. When you accept the thought, you get emotionally involved in that thought. So we say this mind, the subconscious mind, is your emotional mind, okay? When you're involved emotionally in something, right? You see the neck? It literally the subconscious mind control 96, as I said, to 98, 6 to 8% of your behavior and thinking. Okay, now conscious mind is only 2 to 4. So it's very important what we suppress into our subconscious mind. Okay, now when we get emotionally involved in something, in the thought, an idea, our body gets vibrating on that level and the body moves to the action. Okay, so we take action and that's how we create our results. So it's all depending, it's all starting here. If you have positive or negative thinking about the idea that came into your mind, and it goes all the way to your results. I hope, guys, that makes some sense. I know it's a lot to take in, and I realize that, but definitely put the question there if you have it. Now, let me explain that a little bit differently. Maybe it'll be a little bit more visible then for you. Let me stop sharing this. Perfect. So let's imagine a situation, okay? There is a couple, there is a wife in the house waiting for husband to come back from work. And this lady is cooking, cleaning all day long. She's so excited for John to come back from work, and she makes his favorite dessert and everything. And she's like, oh, it's going to be such a romantic evening. And, you know, she's so excited. And what happens? John comes back home and John goes straight on the couch. No hello, no kiss, nothing. So Mary starts thinking, whoa, what happened there? John never acts like that. I'm here cooking all day long for him. I'm cleaning, I have his favorite dessert, and he can't even give me a kiss. So she started creating the thoughts. Remember, top half of the circle. So when she started thinking those thoughts, she creates the feelings. So she suppresses those thoughts onto her subconscious mind. And those feelings are not positive after all those thoughts that she has. So she gets angry, she gets upset, she creates all those feelings. So what happens is then she moves her body to action. So what action she takes? Let's say she takes a frying pan and she runs to John, and she starts, you know, hitting him, shouting and roaring. And what's the result of this action, of her action? Everyone is upset. There is no dinner. Everything lands in the bin and they don't speak for a week. That's how you create your results, from your thoughts, guys. Now let's reverse the situation. Exactly the same. Mary is cooking all day, so happy and, you know, looking forward to John come back from work and have a beautiful and romantic evening. And John comes back and he goes to the couch. And Mary is cooking there and saying, in her own mind, she creates the thought, oh my God, maybe John, I hope everything is okay. I hope John feels okay. Maybe something is wrong. I need to check on him. So she creates different thoughts. So she gets emotionally involved in absolutely different vibration. And she creates, you know, empathy, let's say, emotion. And then she takes action. So instead of the frying pan, she just goes there and she says, John, everything okay? And John says, you know what? I just felt like I was having a heart attack and I needed to lie down. I'm so sorry. You know, I didn't say hello. I just felt so weak. And Mary's like, oh, that's okay. I bring you, she creates an action. I bring you a pillow and your dinner here to bed. You can rest for the evening. So after this action, what's the result? Everyone is happy. They love each other. John is feeling fine in an hour or two, brings her the next day for the dinner. So can you see the difference? How the result was created with the thoughts that we have it? When we realize that we do have a conscious choice of what we think, then we realize that actually all the actions we take and the results we have, they started in our mind. They started with our thinking. Okay, now to shift that thinking from our past experience. If you're trying to achieve the same thing again, there is a paradigm living in your subconscious mind, in the bottom circle of your mind, that creates your life at the moment. And if you have tried to achieve something and you failed before, and you really didn't feel good about it, you will think the same thing again and again and again, until you just consciously to change that thought and suppress it on your subconscious mind. So that can be a part where we can be working a little bit longer on shifting that thinking. And instead of looking at your past results, okay, and creating your thoughts, we will be looking into that beautiful vision that you're going to create, the new picture in your mind of your new results, to create actually different results this time. So when you look at any athlete, speaking of fitness, looking at any successful athletes, successful people in general, when you ask them, how do they do it? They all will tell you the same thing. They visualized. They've seen the thing happening before. They've seen it in their mind before it happened in a physical world. Picasso said something beautiful when he was asked how he comes up with this beautiful art. He said, I dream my painting and I paint my dream. I dream my painting and I paint my dream. Isn't that beautiful? Because the vision, that's what will keep you motivated. That will keep you motivated. Now, remember, I've mentioned emotions. Emotion, emotion, energy in motion. That is something what is crucial. It's not only what you see in your mind. It's not only what you think on a daily basis, but it's actually what you feel, what you engage emotionally with. Speaking of engaging emotionally with your goal, I come across many people that find it difficult enough to feel the feeling of that goal fulfilled. So of imagine that vision if they've never seen or been in that situation before, which is understandable. I've been there, I've done that. It was, not the easiest thing for me neither, but absolutely, if you work on it and you fall in love in your goal, you create a burning desire for it. And what do I mean to fall in love in the goal? I literally mean fall in love in your goal. You know the feeling when you fall in love in man or woman, wherever, and you wake up in the morning and that person is the first thing on your mind. And when you fall asleep, when you're closing your eyes, you just can't wait till tomorrow and see this person again. Or maybe, the situation when you just stand in the queue and you start smiling to yourself and you realize you're by yourself and you look weird and people are looking at you because you just smile to yourself, because you remembered something that, you were thinking or you were doing with that person or wherever situation. I think we all know that feeling. So I literally want you to think of your vision, of your goal like that. Think every single morning. Think every single evening. Live in there. Imagine how beautiful it would be. Now, it all comes in to that burning desire. And absolutely, your motivation can be a pay raise. It can be, being successful in your own business. It can be losing weight. It can be losing weight. Just don't start from changing your behavior first, but start with changing your thinking about that situation. That makes a huge, huge difference, because your subconscious mind at the moment sees only and only the failure that you have experienced in the past. So it's your responsibility to change that vision, to change that picture, to change that thinking. There is also, and you know what, as I said, you must be committed to it. You must be committed, not only interested. And you must be doing things that they will be pulling you out of your comfort zone. And I know your mind is saying like, hell no, right now. It's saying, hell no, I've done it. I've tried it. It doesn't work. And if you keep saying that, it will never work. If you really want that, if you really want something, if you know your why, you will do it. You will do it again. And you will do it differently this time. If you look at your route, if you have been trying to achieve something for a while now, for example, and you can't achieve it, the exact goal, what you want, and you look back and you keep pretty much starting and doing the same actions, because usually people start from actions, guys. We do. If you want to lose weight, what you do, the first thing is you go to the gym, you go to a dietitian. But if you think in your subconscious mind that you always were a big boy or a big girl, or you have heavy bones, where you think, you will not succeed long term. You will succeed for a month, year even, but you will go back to point zero. It's the same earning money. If you think that you not worthy of, if you have your own business, I know there's a couple of business owners here. If you think that you are not worthy of the money, if you truly believe that money, you need to work really hard to get more money, or rich people are greedy, you will never have more money. Money won't come to you. You won't get it. So you need to really carefully choose your thoughts first, and then get onto changing that thinking first. In your subconscious mind, also the big part of your paradigm is you might be not familiar with the word. So again, paradigm is your habitual behavior or habitual patterns of thinking. There is also self-image that lives there. It's a part of paradigm, and it's one of the biggest things I find that needs to be worked on first in order to change your results, to change everything that you want to achieve. If you believe that you can't do it, you won't. If you believe you can, you will. And even if you are believing right now that you can't, that's okay. But if your goal is worthy enough, you will shift that belief. Well, I can help you to shift that belief, definitely. There is amazing tools for it that we use on a daily basis. Now, you need to be aware, and one of those really important and really helpful tools, guys, is to notice, how do you speak to yourself? How do you speak to yourself? It's the same on the beginning on this webinar. I ask you to pick the one area of your life that you are not happy with the results, that you would love to change the results. And if you right now, if I ask you, what's your dominant thought about this area, what would that be? I'm not good enough. I don't have enough knowledge, maybe. It's so hard. I've tried before. Most of them are negative because you looking through your experience, past experience. And if you keep saying that and keep telling yourself that, nothing will change. Nothing will change. So it's really important, how do you speak to yourself about this area, about yourself, of course. That's, if speaking of self-image, that is huge. How do you start your day when you go at the morning and you look at the mirror? Are you saying, well, hello, gorgeous. We're going to have a beautiful day today. We're going to make our day. We're going to make sure the day is the best day ever. Or do you say, oh, geez, my wrinkles. Oh, I got so old overnight. How that happened? And you put yourself down straight away. How are you designing your day in your mind from the moment you wake up? What is the dominant thought about yourself? Just have a think. Put in the comment if you like. No, people usually don't like put that into the comments, but that's absolutely okay. Just have a think, because it's crucial. It's crucial for your success. Now, when you look at it, 96 to 98% is controlling your life, your behavior, right? Would it be that easy to change overnight? Would it? No, it wouldn't be overnight, guys, but it's much more fun and much more, interesting journey if you really want this. It's such a fun journey if you have a right set of tools in your mind, as I call mindset, a set of tools in our mind that we have, that we not really use it on our favor. And those are your superpowers. Those are your superpowers, guys. So we have our senses, we're blessed with our senses, right? Like seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, and whatever, smelling. Yes, 5 senses. We're very blessed. But you know what? No offense, but my pet has them too. Every animal, most of animals, I think, maybe all of them, I don't know, has them too. So what's special about them? It's nothing really special, but there is something, there is our mental muscles, I call them, that only we have, the only creatures on this earth, as far as we know, have them. And we all using them on a daily basis, just not in favor to ourselves. So what are those? Perception, reason, imagination, intuition, your will, and your memory. So 6 of them, and we're using them all. We are using them all on a daily basis, guys. Now, why am I calling them mental muscles, guys? Because they are like your muscles. If you don't train them, they disappear. We all have them, like we all have 6 packs. We all have 6 packs, we all have the same muscles, but we can see them in some people because they train them. But we can't see them in other people because they don't use them as good as the other ones, because they still use them. Like we all use our mental faculties, our mental muscles. Okay, so why am I talking about them, and how are they related to getting your goals? Because you have to use every single one in the journey of getting those goals and leveraging your results, guys. Now, so first of all, I've mentioned already, you need to use your imagination for creation. Imagination for creation, that vision, that fantasy goal that will really keep you, awake early in the morning and going for it every single day, that will give you that energy, that will give you that passion, that burning desire, because you imagine it and you see in it and you fall in love in that goal. Now, next one is reason. Reason is ability to think, okay? So you need to think, to fall in love in that goal. You need to think about that goal over and over again, instead of thinking what was, what happened before, how many times I failed, or how maybe my past created me and someone said to me how lazy I am, and you keep seeing this and you keep thinking about that. You need to rid of that. You need to be focusing on the future. Remember that you are creating your future right now with your thoughts right now. You're creating your future. Your now is created by yesterday's thoughts. So it doesn't matter what you have right now, because you're able to change your results in the future. If you use the reason, okay? We have a memory. We also have a memory. And I hear sometimes from people say, I don't have a good memory, or, one people have, the other ones don't. No, we all have good memory. We all have excellent memory. We just don't train it. We are just not training the memory. What is the memory? What part memory takes in your process? You remember your goal. You keep remember your vision. You're not changing it. You're not jumping from one to the other. You created a vision. You remember it. You're thinking of it, and you bring it to the back of your mind. Keep bringing it onto the mind with your will. You have your will as well, and will is nothing less than focus. If you have a laser focus on something, on what you want, it must happen. And you must be really strong in that will, okay? So I always say, imagine the magnifying glass, right? So I don't know, did you do it, guys? But I did as a younger version of myself. As a kids, we were taking a white sheet of paper and magnifying glass, borrowing from Granny, grabbing the sunbeam and making a hole in the paper, right? What we needed to do was only hold that magnifying glass, like your wheel, in one spot, to bring that sunbeam and make a hole fast. And that's what you need to do with your will. You need to focus on your goal, because if we move that magnifying glass, you wouldn't get the results as fast. Eventually you will, but do you want to lose that time? I wouldn't. Okay, so hold that wheel nice and strong. Next one, I'm going to go back to it when I said, you know what, it's a fantasy, and you actually right now, you don't know how to do it. And the question is, well, will I find out, and how will I find out? Now, I can tell you how will you find out. But the question is, do you have enough patience and trust and belief and faith? Because that's what you needed, okay? But you have your intuition. You have your intuition. And that's what you need to listen to. So when you are in a relaxed state, right? When your body is relaxed, when your mind is relaxed, and you created that fantasy and you live in that fantasy, you see those beautiful pictures, your higher self, your imagination, or sorry, your intuition, your intuition will guide you, The big thing is that we don't really listen to our intuition anymore, because we have our senses and we experience life via our senses. We are bombarded with everything that is surrounding us, with all the news, with all the informations. We see through our perception. We don't see things that we really see them inside us, but we see them, what we've been told, through our paradigms. So when you're relaxed, everything changes. Of course, it's a process again. Now, so use your intuition and don't let but after to affect you, to affect your actions. Because when do you hear your intuition? It's the first thought. It's the first split thought. When you sometimes think of someone and you say, Jesus, I didn't think of him or her for past, I don't know, 5 years. And now that person comes into your mind and you say, maybe I should give her a call. And then it's like, no, why would I? So, the intuition is give her a call. Something is letting you know that either that person needs you or you need that person. Okay? Now, everything after a no or a but, that wouldn't make any sense, right? That is all your paradigms. That's what controls your life at the moment. And if you want to change that, you need to start listening to the first thought, the inspired thought. Yes, so then that's what you need for, of course, getting the map to your goal, okay? So intuition. And the very last mental faculty is perception. Perception. And probably at this stage that when you start looking at things differently, the things will change. So that because you are right, it doesn't make me wrong, correct? Changing your perception or using your perception is an amazing tool of solving your problems, guys, of solving your problems. Right now, you are thinking through your paradigms, through your habitual patterns of thinking. But if you have a struggle, if you have an obstacle on the way to your goal, write it down. Don't keep it in you. Write it down on a piece of paper. Leave it out. And keep thinking what someone else would think. What's the other option? What's the other way of thinking of that? Change that perception will help you massively overcome your obstacles. Don't fix yourself on one idea. That won't work as effectively or the way how you want it to work. Okay, so I really want you to I want to connect my whiteboard before we go just one more time. Now, and that is literally the gold, which you're gonna get now, okay? So at this stage, you know that your thoughts, right, plus your emotions, plus your actions create your results. Would we agree to that? Come on, guys, comment on me. Do you agree with that? If you don't, oh yes, of course, yes, thank you. If you don't, that's okay. That's okay, because that's what it is. That's what it is. As simple as, if you believe it or not, that's how it works. Okay, so you know at this stage that if you have negative thoughts, you will create negative emotions. You will get engaged with emotions, negative emotions, and you will take negative actions or no action. You know, when you wake up in the morning and you have no motivation, and you feel like you start thinking like, oh, I'm so tired already. I woke up and I'm tired already. So you get emotion involved in it and you feel like crap, let's be honest. So what's your actions? Your actions more likely will be staying on the couch for the rest of the day, right? Staying on the couch for the rest of the day, or doing whatever, definitely not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Procrastination is another thing. And you get the negative results. Now, if you wake up and you say, woo, I'm just thinking of my goal, I'm going for it, and you're creating positive thoughts, positive emotions, positive actions, or actions that you need to take to get closer to that goal, you will more likely get positive results, right? So if you at the moment on a negative pole and your results are negative there in the area what I asked you to choose on the beginning, what does that mean? Of course, that your thoughts are negative, right? How to change them to the positive ones? What do you need to change first, guys? What do you think? Put it in comment. Do you think you should be changing your thoughts, your emotions, or your actions first? See how much you get out of this talk. What you should be changing first: thoughts, emotions, actions, or results first. Okay, more likely, if you think of it, thoughts. Yes, more likely you will say thoughts. And that's not the case. That's not the case. It seems so easy, isn't it? When you will listen probably to this, like, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Does it really? Of course it does. But guys, you need to change your results first. You need to change the results, the vision. Then when you have your vision, you will change your thoughts. Then you will think much more. Exactly, goals, results. That's it, Małgorzata. Yes. First, you're changing results in your mind. So you're not looking at the result that you had in the past. You're not looking through your failures, or we want to call lessons. Okay. But you change the results. You see the beautiful results that you want to get. Then you change in your thoughts and everything goes here. And okay, I'm going to just finish that board now. come up. So you can be thinking clearly, like, yeah, but I'm thinking, you know, to have that vision. But it's not your thoughts, it's your imagination that you are using actually to create that vision. And first, you're changing results in your mind. No more past, no more failures. We only look back into your past for two reasons. First one, to see how far you have come. Second of all, to see what can you improve, to actually knowledge the lesson, no emotion involved, just knowledge. You can be ignorant to it. It happened. It's your past. That's okay. But you're looking at it, you're taking the lesson, and you're moving on. And you're not doing it again. And you're working from a different angle. Okay, guys, that's all. That's all from me. I hope that was helpful a little, and it is only an hour. So I hope there was some valuable knowledge for you.